Once in a quiet suburban neighborhood lived a man named Daniel. He was in a committed relationship with Emily, a charming woman who had brightened his life since they met. Their romance had flourished over the years, creating a bond that Daniel thought was unbreakable. However, recent weeks had brought a lingering unease, whispers of doubt that something wasn't quite right. One day, when Daniel returned early from work, he noticed the neighbor's door slightly ajar. Curious, he decided to take a moment and observe. It was then that he saw them, Emily and Ben, locked in a passionate kiss right in front of the open door. Time seemed to freeze as Daniel's heart sank. He felt a wave of shock wash over him. Every moment they had shared flooded his mind, each sweet memory now tainted with the reality of betrayal. They laughed together, lost in their moment, their chemistry far too evident. It was a gut-wrenching sight. Emily, the love of his life, betraying him with the very neighbor he had considered a friend. Reeling from the discovery, Daniel returned home, his mind racing with emotions. He knew he had to confront her, but a darker thought began to form. Instead of facing her with his feelings of hurt and anger, he decided on a different course of action, one that involved revenge. Over the next few days, as the initial shock faded slightly, Daniel scanned through the security footage from his cameras, capturing more than just that initial moment he had witnessed. He collected screenshots that showed their interactions, flirtatious glances, intimate conversations, and most painfully, those stolen kisses that confirmed his worst fears. With a heavy heart, he printed out the most damning images, determined to confront Emily in a way that would leave a lasting impression. He placed the photos strategically around their home, on the bathroom mirror, taped to the fridge, and scattered throughout the living room, ensuring that every moment of betrayal would stare her in the face. The day finally arrived when Daniel decided to execute his plan. He knew Emily would be returning home later that evening from dinner with friends. As the front door creaked open, she stepped inside, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing within the walls of their home. The first thing she noticed was the photo glaring at her from the fridge, her arms around Ben, lips almost touching. Confusion swept over her face, and as she moved into the living room, she stumbled upon the next image, a snapshot of their kiss, frozen in time. Panic set in as she continued to find more evidence, each picture driving the knife deeper. Finally, she reached the last photo, a clear image of their kiss, adorned with a date and timestamp, documenting the exact moment Daniel's heart had shattered. Surprise. He stood in the doorway watching her process the betrayal that she had inflicted. Emily's eyes widened, tears quickly filling them as she realized the extent of her actions laid bare before her. She stumbled to find words, attempting to explain and apologize, but even she knew those words would never justify her choices. In that moment of confrontation, revenge felt hollow to Daniel. He had wanted her to feel the weight of her betrayal, but he learned that while witnessing her guilt brought some initial satisfaction, it changed nothing about the sorrow that resided within him. Ultimately, he knew he had to focus on healing. After their emotional confrontation, where secrets turned to silence, Daniel took the first steps towards rebuilding his life, embracing new opportunities and seeking a love that was authentic and true, free from the haunting shadows of betrayal. Ultimately, he knew he had to focus on healing. After their emotional confrontation, where secrets turned to silence, Daniel took the first steps towards rebuilding his life, embracing new opportunities and seeking a love that was authentic and true, free from the haunting shadows of betrayal.